Hello everybody, my name is Kerberuji and today I will be explaining the Doom Eternal Iceberg Chart. Now if you don't know what an Iceberg Chart is, it's basically an image that has various pieces of trivia about a certain topic. They get more obscure the further down you go in the list. Also, this iceberg will have major spoilers for Doom Eternal and its 2 DLC expansions, as well as a small amount of Doom 2016. With that said, let's get into the iceberg and thank you for watching. The Codex is a feature in both Doom Eternal and Doom 2016 that includes tutorials and lore about the game that you collect during your playthrough. It includes information about how the Ark was formed, how the demonic invasion took place, the story of Hell, and much more. There will be a wiki link in the description if you wish to read all of the entries. Throughout Doom Eternal, there are several holograms of a UAC spokesperson spreading support of the demonic invasion cheerfully. The propaganda is ironically found most commonly in the Ark complex level, which was supposed to be the resistance to fight back against the invasion. Such lines from this spokesperson include,
"The cleansing of Earth is a necessary step on the path to a brighter tomorrow."
and
"Demon can be an offensive term. Refer to them as mortally challenged."
There is a long-running debate about what weapon mod should be gotten first on the combat shotgun. Sticky bombs act as a small-scale grenade, do splash damage, and can instantly stagger cacodemons, whereas the full auto mod briefly turns the shotgun into a fully automatic weapon which consumes ammo at a faster rate. Personally, I would choose the sticky bomb mod as cacodemons are very annoying to deal with early game, ignoring the fact that you get both before your first encounter with a cacodemon. This is referring to the icon of Centaur you get for getting all of the collectibles in the base campaign. You are able to find it in the Fortress of Doom near all of the other toys you have collected. The mysterious voice is heard after beating the Khan Maker in the second to last level of the game. It is subtitled as Mysterious Voice, but is known as Dark Lord in the game files. To add on to this, the voice is extremely similar to the voice of the corrupted Vega that you hear earlier in the level. In Doom Eternal there are 4 types of demon, these being Fodder, Heavy, Super Heavy, and Ambient. Fodder being the weakest type, while Super Heavy is the strongest type. In the Doom novels, the Doomslayer, aka Doom Guy, is referred to as Flynn Taggart, which implies that this is his real name. However, in the Doom 3 novels, he is referred to as John Kane. Quick switching is a common strategy used by skilled players to bypass reload time on guns. This is actively encouraged by the game and is part of the meta. It can be used to get high amounts of damage done in a very short space of time with different combos. On PC, it's even more overpowered as you're able to switch to any weapon at any time. On console and Switch, you can only do 2 weapons without switching to the weapon wheel. If you have the faster dash refill suit perk, it is actually faster to dash once and wait for it to recharge instead of having to dash twice. This is used in most speedruns and is very handy for mobility. This is what I think this entry is referring to. In the Fortress of Doom, where you find your collectibles, there is an old computer on a desk. You can open an interface with this and it will come up with a place to enter a code on the left and a number out of 14 on the right. If you enter the code Flynn Taggart, you'll unlock a fully playable version of Doom 1, and if you find all 14 cheat codes in the game in the campaign, you will unlock a fully playable version of Doom 2. From what I can find, this is literally just people reacting to the shark in the Ancient Gods 1 first mission. That's literally all I could find. If there is anything else about a shark in Doom Eternal, please do let me know in the comments. The Blood Swamps is the second level in the Ancient Gods one, and surprisingly it has little to no blood in the environment whatsoever. It's mostly that purple goo you find originally in Exaltia, but yeah, there's literally no blood, except from the demons when you kill them, obviously. The Unmaker is a gun that is usually unlocked near the end of the game and is a super powerful automatic rifle that runs off of Argent energy. You unlock it if you beat every Slayer gate and get all 6 Empyrean keys. It fires a spread of 5 bullets and uses 1 Argent energy every 3 shots. I can only think that this is referring to how some armor skins have bicep armor, yet some do not. I couldn't find anything else on this. Canonically, the physical form of the Doomslayer is in his late 20s to early 30s, but he has been around for thousands of years. In the final cutscene of the Ancient Gods 2, we see him be sealed in a stone sarcophagus and left there. He stays there until he is woken again, whenever that will be. I couldn't find anything concrete about this, but apparently wraiths were released from a giant cosmic impactor known as the Cosmic Spear, which apparently accelerated evolution on Earth. That's all I could really find though. This was actually surprisingly obscure for Layer 2. In Ancient Gods 1, we learn that Samuel Hayden is actually Sama Maker, or the Seraphim. He ends up being the final boss of the Ancient Gods 1. There are some clues to him being the Seraphim in the main campaign. The most obvious is when you travel to Urdak and a voice says, "Welcome, Seraphim," implying that Doomslayer has brought the Seraphim with him, which could only be Samuel Hayden, as Vega has always been a sentient AI, which is what we find out in Doom 2016. Guardian coins can be seen before the death of each Hell Priest. They are supposedly a link to the Hell Priest and their Guardian and appear when the Guardian is killed. That's why the second and third Hell Priests were so scared when you killed the 2 Doom Hunters in Doom Hunter Base and the Gladiator on Sentinel Prime. I could only think that this is referring to the final boss of the Ancient Gods 2 being nerfed, as it's too hard. I couldn't find anything special about this entry. If you interact with a sword that you find in the level World Spear on the Ancient Gods 2, it will spawn 5 Marauders that you have to fight. How fun. That's something I'm not looking forward to when I play the Ancient Gods 2. This isn't confirmed, but we see different types of Titan throughout Doom Eternal. For example, the Icon of Sin and the 2 Titans guarding the Argent Energy at the end of Necroville Part 2 are different in terms of size. This must mean that there are different types. The Archvile trailer from QuakeCon 2018 introduces the demon in the Mars Core level instead of Taras Nabad, which is where it is seen in the final release of the game. Also, the Slayer is seen pulling out the Crucible in this trailer, which does not fit where the Slayer finds the Crucible in the game. I can only think that this has something to do with killing the caged demons you see in Sentinel Prime, but this is just my speculation. I couldn't find anything on this, so yeah, sorry. This is actually impossible, as Argent Energy was created after the Makers came into being. There isn't really much more to say on this one, because it's just straight up false. Unless it's talking about how they drop health, which could be interpreted as dropping Argent Energy, but that's just really a game mechanic and not really any piece of lore. I believe that this entry is referring to how the Slayer defeats the Icon of Sin in Doom 2, but is somehow back in Doom Eternal. Unless they made another one which doesn't exactly make sense. If you have anything to add to this entry, feel free to leave it in the comments. My best guess on this one is that it's referring to how the Father stole the power of Davoth, and isn't in fact the creator of everything. Once again, nothing on this is proven and it's just speculation. feel free to leave your interpretation in the comments. I know this is contradicting the last entry, but the father is said to have godlike powers and is responsible for creating life, or maybe even reality itself. I don't think there's much else to say. This is a technique whereby using the microwave beam mod on the plasma rifle, you are able to stun an enemy briefly so you can attack it without it attacking you. Apparently, this is insanely overpowered and can be used on most, if not all, non-boss demons. The deal between Heaven, Urdak in this case, and Hell was that the makers from Urdak would provide Hell with unlimited mortal souls to be transformed into demons in exchange for the Maker Soul Spires, which give them energy, to be uninterrupted in their production in Hell. This is actually from Doom 2016, but I'll still cover it. Basically, it is a recurring Easter egg where you're able to play a game called Super Turkey Puncher on an arcade machine which is based on Street Fighter. The faster you kill the turkey, the more points you earn. Valen's hammer is a weapon you get in the Ancient Gods 2 and is thought to run off Argent energy as it recharges when you get a glory kill on an enemy, which could be the hammer absorbing the Argent energy. This may be referring to the war between Davoth and the Father, where Davoth tries to escape his realm and spread into the realms that the Father controlled. That's all I could find though. It could also be the Sentinel and Hell War, but I'm not sure. But there obviously will be previous battles in millions of years. I think this is referring to how some makers transfigure into Seraphs, which have the appearance of the Khan maker, but smaller and with purple skin. Seraphs do not serve the Khan, so they have free will, because if you didn't know, the Khan maker actually controls all the other makers, and it's kind of like this collective hive mind, but basically Seraphs are not part of this hive mind, so they have got complete free will. The Doom Blade is the blade that you see in many of the glory kills in Doom Eternal. I couldn't find an in-game explanation from where it came from, but the creative director Hugo Martin said it was added to Doom Eternal so the team could implement more glory kill animations that weren't possible in Doom 2016. I couldn't even begin to find anything on this one, so if you know what this means, please do leave information in the comments. Yeah, I'm sorry. I guess it's referring to how increased FPS makes the game run faster, which requires the player to have faster reaction times. That's what I just think though. I couldn't really find anything on this, so I was kind of going off of a game design aspect, but yeah, I couldn't find anything in-game saying this. There was going to be a starter pistol in Doom Eternal, but it was scrapped as id Software said that it didn't fit the combat flow. There isn't really much to say on this, you can read it yourself, read what they said, but yeah, that's pretty much it. There are several other life spheres seen in the game other than the Father's life sphere. For example, the Khan Maker has a life sphere that is taken to the Luminarium so she can be resurrected when she dies. Also, around the Luminarium and the Father's life sphere, there are other spheres of other gods. I'm just going to skip this one because I simply do not understand how this fits with Doom Eternal. Sorry. Demons are created by possessing the body of a creature that can be dead or alive. This entry is basically saying that demons are different races that have fallen over the span of the Doom timeline. Statistically, this has to be true, as races that were brought down by Hell do transform their population into demons, as seen with Earth. Daisy was Doom Guy's pet rabbit who sadly died at the end of the first Doom game. Daisy can be seen hidden somewhere in every Doom Eternal level. It's a pretty cool Easter egg that, to be honest, I didn't know existed until researching this iceberg, and I've had the game for nearly 6 months. The Wretch was first mentioned in Doom 2016 and is credited with designing the Pareto suit. According to most fan theories, the Wretch is the Betrayer, also known as Valen, who is seen in the second half of the second level Exaltia. I'm not sure how this is a conspiracy, but basically Hugo Martin promised that there weren't going to be any microtransactions in Doom Eternal, but Bethesda ended up going back on this and added purchasable skins anyway. There were some cutscenes that were scraps that showed the death of the Dark Lord. They can still be found in the game files if you have the Ancient Gods 2 purchased and installed. Yeet hooking is a speed glitch that occurs when you use the meat hook on a Cacodemon. It can be used to skip large parts of some levels. I'm not sure if it's been patched or not, so feel free to give it a go. If it doesn't work, then it's probably been patched. I don't personally know if this is true because I've only played battle mode a handful of times, but according to a lot of people, the Archvile summons are way too overpowered to fight against. Hopefully they nerf this in update 6.66, which is the new Horde mode update. This is obviously just a joke entry. If there is a Doom guy, why can't there be a Doom girl? I mean, that's literally what it's just saying. There's nothing interesting here, it's just a joke entry. Thank you for watching this video. I really want to make more Doom content, so if this video does well, I will make more videos on it. If you did enjoy this Iceberg video, feel free to give us a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and as always, keep on gaming and stay safe. I will see you all in the next video. Bye!